Hi everybody, I wanted to reach out to you this week on the Weekly Why in this video format so that I could give my voice to the message. Sometimes it's hard to get tone out of an email or a newsletter, and I wanted to acknowledge at the very least the hard work that all of you are doing in our schools every day. I know it's been a challenge this year for a variety of reasons. Late buses to school, late buses at pickup, which are trying to get better, and teachers who've stayed those extra minutes or hours to make sure that our students got to school and got home safely. I also want to acknowledge the fact that I'm very mindful of recess indoors because of the EEE threat. Has created a real challenge for classrooms, especially the younger classrooms where students have literally inside all day long. I want to acknowledge the hard work and the stress that no doubt brings in classrooms, and hopefully that will be over soon. But I also want to acknowledge the reflective work I've been doing together with our team over the last couple of days to really get an understanding and a sense of the frustration that seems to be mounting in our schools, and to ask that question around why aren't you paying attention to the culture in our buildings. I can see that that's becoming a frustration if it's not already a point of despair for some. And I want to try to lighten that load in some way by providing what I hope is a reassuring message and some direction moving forward. I've had the opportunity in the last couple of days to spend time in classrooms and to review some lesson plans that frame these outstanding, excellent lessons. And what I noticed about them is that the lessons are really they're a sketch. They're a work in progress. They're messy. They're not perfect, but they contain really good information that provides direction. And what I'm going to do is I think it would be helpful for me to have that voice with our staff personally, especially at the elementary level. This is where we want to start. Traveling around to the schools and to hear from teachers, and also to share what some of these expectations are around, so that our teachers aren't spending every waking hour preparing for lessons and then just feeling overwhelmed and underappreciated is what is the sense that obviously that I'm feeling from many who've expressed that concern. So the purpose of this message is just to acknowledge those feelings, to validate those feelings, and to give you some confidence moving forward that we're going to make this better for everyone, as I really do want to work in partnership with all of you for the great work that you're doing. So simply put, where do we go from here? I'll come around to the schools. I'll make it a schedule. It'll be a voluntary staff meeting after school, and we can talk about what the expectations are. In the meanwhile, a sketch of a lesson. If you've been working on a plan book for years and that's your way of doing business, and you need to upload something in the drive, take a snapshot, take a screenshot, and upload that. And let's just keep this simple. Let's keep this without feeling like we're overworking, but that we are being thoughtful in our planning. That we're planning for the week with the full understanding that it's not going to be a pretty plan book. It's not going to be perfect, and it's going to have various iterations and changes to it over the course of the week. But that it is tied to standards. It is tied to objectives. But it's a sketch. It's an outline, and I don't want to overcomplicate that. So I do think a personal conversation with our staff over the next few weeks will be helpful. In the meanwhile, I ask that you do your best, and let's just try to dial this back a bit and try to calm things as best we can. I do want to acknowledge again your hard work, and thank you for your patience with us as we just try to get this right for our district, to be sure that we're giving an equity of opportunity across all of our schools. Thanks for watching, and that's our Weekly Why. Please know that I do appreciate you, even though it doesn't feel that way sometimes by the directives. But I want to hear from you, and the conversation will continue. Thanks very much, and have a great weekend.